Joaquín Torres Garcia's inverted map is a direct epistemological demand. Placing the South Pole at the top forces a shift in perspective. Physical empires withdrew, but their coordinates remain. The decolonial turn maps these new mental landscapes. Aníbal Quijano categorized this persistence through a structural triad. The coloniality of power manages institutional governance. The coloniality of being categorizes human value. And the coloniality of knowledge dictates the standards of truth, elevating Western rationality while dismissing other ways of knowing. These epistemological maps continue to rule our perception of reality long after the formal collapse of colonial administrations. Restructuring our world requires identifying the silent power these frameworks still exert over our minds. This legacy has fostered a specific suspicion among modern academics that because the Enlightenment was European, universality itself is an inherently colonial tool. This leads many towards pure particularism, a retreat into indigenous or subaltern identities that attempt to exist in a vacuum, entirely isolated from Western frameworks. This pursuit of a pure, untouched identity functions as a theoretical trap. By attempting to detach from the global system, a marginalized group forfeits the leverage needed to actually change it. The resulting isolation causes the movement to collapse in on itself. Decolonial liberation thrives by hijacking universality rather than abandoning it. Isolation fails on a foundational structuralist premise. No identity possesses a self-contained essence. In a vacuum, an isolated subject simply fades out. Identity only takes shape within a system of forces. Tension against other nodes gives a group its definition. Ernesto Laclau applied this to the political arena, arguing that asserting a subaltern identity as a pure particularity outside of systemic relations is a structural impossibility. Laclau cautioned that demanding recognition for difference without challenging the hierarchical network that defined that difference is a conservative act. Focusing only on the right to be different sanctions the status quo. It mirrors apartheid's logic, maintaining hierarchy by enforcing the strict separation of identities. A movement that only fights to protect its local particularity leaves the overarching machinery of inequality intact. Eurocentrism is best understood as a local particularity masquerading as a global standard. It is the Enlightenment error of mistaking a specific European history for the unmediated truth of all humanity. Slavoj Žižek argues that the left must move from an abstract universality to a concrete universality to dismantle this. Concrete universality occurs when an excluded group, the system's own symptom, injects its specific demand to forcefully rewrite the systemic norms for everyone. We defeat Eurocentrism by claiming the center and redefining the universal rules. Rosa Parks provides a tangible example of this theory in action. When she sat in the white section of a Montgomery bus, she was not demanding a separate set of rules for herself or her demographic. She assumed a position of absolute equality, using her specific exclusion to invalidate the hierarchical order of the bus and the society that built it. Mid-century liberation movements often followed this path. Malcolm X discarded his ancestral slave name for a placeholder, an X, rejecting an essentialist past to claim a universal horizon of human rights. True emancipatory politics hinges on this universalization of interests, where the marginalized speak on behalf of the whole. This creates a pragmatic dilemma. What happens to modern institutions like science, democracy, and the law? Enrique Dussels' concept of transmodernity offers a path forward. Transmodernity avoids simple anti-modernism. It is the transformation of modernity from the exterior perspective of subaltern cultures. Walter Minulo describes this as border thinking, a strategy to operate within the cracks of these systems and deconstruct them from the inside. Modern tools can be stripped of their Eurocentric ontology to serve truly universal functions. We move from the exclusionary thinking of the past toward an ecology of knowledges, where multiple ways of knowing can finally interact. Postmodernism failed here. It remained a Eurocentric critique of Eurocentrism, removing the left's utopian horizon. Instead, border thinking restores that utopian horizon through active disruption, shattering the old colonial boundaries to reveal a pluriversal reality. Decolonizing knowledge forces the modern world to fulfill the universality it has long claimed to possess.